Now I'm in the cave where Saint Jerome worked on the translation of the Bible, and I was just in the cave where Saint Joseph had the famous dream, and soon I'm going to walk to where Jesus was actually born. This is where Saint Jerome was buried. It was in this sarcophagus, and this is his altar. This is the well that Saint Jerome used behind me. Here is the actual mosaic that Saint Helena had done here, and this is I think this was done in the 4th century AD, and yeah, it's extremely old. I can see like the individual mini tiles is quite interesting. The 3 chandeliers over there were donated by the Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II. I'm currently in the oldest church in the Holy Land because the Persians didn't destroy it in the 600s, and the reason why that was because they had a picture of the 3 wise men. So I'm going to go up to where Jesus was born, and this is really amazing that I'm gonna go to where Jesus was born. I'm just gonna try to get up to the spot. And I just... So here I am at the Milk Grotto, and this is where Our Lady's milk dropped onto a rock and the whole cave turned white. And as you can see, the rock is relatively pale, really, and yeah, it's quite a nice, peaceful place. I am in the shepherd's fields at the moment, and I can actually see the hotel that I'm staying at right at the top of the hill. It's the highest building that you can sort of see almost the whole of, and there's the entrance to the shepherd's field. actually in one of the exits of the shepherd's cave, and as you can see it's very dark in here. I think I just spotted a bird of prey, and it looks very interesting. It's got its mouth open, probably because it's very hot. Maybe it's a way of cooling itself. I'll try and make it a bit brighter so that you can see it properly. Oh, now it's turned its head. So tomorrow I'm going to have a nice day at Jerusalem, and I've got a nice view of Bethlehem from my hotel, and as you can hear, there is a prayer being said in a mosque. It's quite loud, and I feel like it's quite significant that I'm going to go to Jerusalem tomorrow, because I went to the place where Jesus was born today, and Jesus was born to redeem the sins of the world on the cross, and I feel like it's quite significant. Now I'm going down a deep hole underground. It's quite interesting down there. Wow, there's a massive room here. So I'm walking into the massive chamber now, and very interesting. It seems like quite a dirty place. Smells a bit of sewage down here, and I put my foot in the water because I didn't realise that it was deep. So if you come here, you should be aware of that. And there's, I think it's a slug, a very interesting colour. And I could zoom in a little bit. Very interesting down here. Now I'm walking into the place where Jesus was scourged at the pillar. There's also the place where the crown of thorns was placed on his head. This is an actual marking by one of the Roman soldiers. They were playing a game here. So now I'm going through the Via Dolorosa, and behind me there's the Ecce Homo arch, and it's quite an interesting place. Just visited where the tomb of Jesus is, and now I'm walking to where the crucifixion took place, and there's a crack in the rock from the earthquakes that happened, and this is very close to where, according to tradition, Adam was buried. I'm walking towards where Jesus was nailed. As you can see, there's a picture of it, and also this is where he was stripped. You can now see the very spot where Jesus was crucified. I'm in the chapel of St. Helena, and I've noticed an interesting symbol at the top. Behind me you can see that there are Roman columns, and I'm somewhere in the old city at the moment. I am in a very important place in the Bible because both the Last Supper and the Pentecost happened here. So just now I actually visited the tomb of David, and I couldn't take any pictures or videos because it's the Jewish Sabbath today, which is called the Shabbat. But it was very nice to visit this tomb. I noticed they had a plastic cover over it. This is the Church of Dormition, and this is where Our Lady was assumed into heaven. And of course the crowning of Our Lady in heaven was in heaven. It's only according to tradition that she was assumed here though. the hole that Jesus fell through, and they threw him. He must have landed right here where I'm putting my hand. Behind me is the Wailing Wall, so I'm going to go up to it in a minute. So I just visited the Wailing Wall and I put a prayer petition into it, like most people do at it. And this is where the fourth and the fifth joyful mysteries probably would have taken place. So the presentation and the finding of Jesus in the temple. Behind me is the Dome of the Rock. It's the most important place in Islam, and it's quite what I find is the dome is quite striking because it's very golden and really massive, and apparently this is where Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac. Behind this gate I have a very good view of the Garden of Gethsemane. See a really massive insect, and I spotted it first, and it's massive.
That is a wasp, isn't it?
So I am in the desert at the moment, and it says that this is sea level, and we're gonna go down to the Dead Sea soon. But before that, we're gonna go to Jericho, and it's a really nice view here. So we just passed the oldest surviving city in the world, which is Jericho, and I'm looking at the Mount of Temptation where Jesus was tempted, and of course he didn't listen. And we're gonna go down to the Dead Sea, which is about 430 meters below sea level. And I was a lot higher. I was almost 800 meters above sea level in Bethlehem. So behind me is the Dead Sea, and the land surrounding it is the lowest exposed land in the whole world. It's about 430 meters below sea level. Now I'm gonna put my hand where the water meets the land, and this is exactly the lowest exposed land in the world. It feels very warm, and I'm gonna go into it soon. I can actually see where Jesus last stepped. It's the outline right there. That's his footprint, and that was where he ascended into heaven. Now we're walking down the road that Jesus went on Palm Sunday. I'm now walking up to the church where Saint Elizabeth's house was, and it's the site of the second joyful mystery, the Visitation. Up to where St. John the Baptist was born. You can see a windmill over there. This is the main place of the visitation, and it's a really nice church. So I'm walking to the Basilica of the Annunciation. It's the very first mystery of the Rosary. Behind me is the actual spot where God became a human being. He was conceived right here, and this is where the angel Gabriel visited Our Lady. I'm leaving the Basilica now, and it was very interesting, but the actual house where it happened has been carried by angels to Loreto. Now I am at where Jesus performed his first public miracle. Can see the Sea of Galilee for the first time, and it is 212 meters below sea level. I'm on the boat right now. A plane, really low altitude. I'm currently on the Mount of Beatitudes, and this is where the third luminous mystery, the call to conversion, would have taken place. We're walking in the Valley of the Doves now, and this place is absolutely spectacular. There's a nice mountain up there, and this really reminds me of Glencoe Valley in Scotland. So now I am at the River Jordan, and this is where the first luminous mystery took place. It's the baptism of Jesus. So now we're going up Mount Tabor, which is where the fourth luminous mystery would have taken place, the Transfiguration. And I can already see a really good view of the fields of Megiddo, which are the site of where the last battle will be. Behind me is the Valley of Armageddon, and as you can see, it's really flat. You can see two reservoirs which are quite striking as well.